Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Jazzy, the Video Store Sasquatch here, and we are doing another horror movie night in the cave. It is Friday night. We have two movies here to review. They're both new on Shudder. The first one we'll start with is 825 Forest Road, directed by Stephen Cognetti, starring Elizabeth Vermilia, Catherine Miller, and Joe Budelli. After a family tragedy, Chuck Wilson hopes to start a new life in Ashland Falls with his wife Maria and little sister Isabel, but he quickly discovers that the town has a dark secret. This movie is actually not that bad. It's slow burn. I'm not like the huge fan of horror slow burns, but actually the ending kind of it's not really like an explosive ending, but it's like enough of an explosion to keep my interest, and it was really not that bad of a movie. I give it a C overall. Um, the one I'm gonna nitpick the one thing I didn't like was the ghost. I thought that it was very comedic. Like I thought it was kind of funny. I don't think if you're gonna do a digital type of deal like that in today's time, you better make sure you nail that ghost. And I don't know if they did. I don't know the budget. I'm sure it was a very high budget. It's a Shutter movie. I think it was an IFC film on top of it. So not really sure what that budget is, but um showed that it wasn't that high with the ghost there. Basically, what happens is you start with the original owner of the house's daughter, probably I believe it might even be the original owner of the house. Knowing like today's times, it's just she doesn't look real young to me. She is doing an investigation onto the city of where 825 Forest Road would be today because the city went through this whole thing with like a it's kind of a suicide, like a multiple suicide thing, and that's like the secret here. And it's all connected to that 825 Forest Road, so that back in the day, like way before any map, like all this is like all official and technological and all into Google. They switched up every part of the city, regridded it, and they then lost this 825 Forest Road to history, what it is. Of course, there's a connection with the house there is there that they moved into, but we just know horror movies, so we know that's gonna be it. Yeah, and then you kind of start slowly seeing kind of creepy things. I like how they like chapter it off, so we get to see each three of the top characters. And Joel Bendelli, Elizabeth Vermilia, and Catherine Miller. We get to see their three separate stories of like the same timeline, so they did a very good job there. As I said, it wasn't like a huge explosion at the end, but enough of the story and enough of a decent pacing to kind of keep you involved with everything. The good, a good, it was a good like feeling. They had like a good like a good. I'm trying to think of how to say this. A good cinematographer because you really felt involved at times when you're watching this movie with all these people, and I think that's a good compliment here. I don't think the acting was terrible, so that's another good compliment. So yeah, definitely. If you're looking for a new horror movie, this is 825 Forest Road, directed by Stephen Cognetti, and it is on Shudder right now. Like I said, both these movies are on Shudder. They're both new. I believe this is the newest one of the two. And then the second movie we're going to talk about here is The Rule of Jenny Penn, directed by James Ashcroft, starring Jeffrey Rush and John Lithgow. Confined to a secluded rest home and trapped within his stroke ridden body, a former judge must stop an elderly psychopath who employs a child's puppet to abuse the home's residents with deadly consequences. Honestly, this movie was way better than I thought it was going to be. Way better. I thought this movie was going to trash. We were going to F it, and then it was just going to go on. I thought I was going to turn it off and not even talk about it, but honestly, I kept watching it. And the more I watched it, the more like downright scared you get. Like this is a very creepy thing that John Lithgow does here. And he's a downright psychopath in this movie, to be honest with you. He basically just terrorizes these residents into submission. So all the people there are so terrified of this dude, they pretty much think he's not even real and or he's like a ghost because even when they do complain, no one else will complain to back him up. So they don't even realize that the guy's there half the time. He's in the very back of pictures. And that's like I said, you start the movie, you see that the judge is the judge who's Jeffrey Rush. is giving out a sentence or whatever into the court system, and he has a stroke and he kind of loses everything, and that's scary within itself too. And then he gets moved into this full time care. That's where we meet Lithgow first. We don't really think nothing of it until the nighttime when we start really fucking with these people, and like we realize that this dude's just like a terror to this place. And that is good that he did this, because I mean this is downright diabolical, some of the stuff he does. This is a New Zealand made movie. I don't know. No, this isn't my first one of these, because like there's like home, there's that Christmas one and a couple other ones. These guys that are here in New Zealand, they have a very interesting take on horror movies. And every time you watch one, you're like, some of them are hits, some of them are misses. This is definitely a hit here. So who this is? Been James Ash. I don't really know much of him. I'm gonna give him a B plus for a horror movie. Probably C overall. I think that if you're not really a horror movie fan, you're gonna have problems with this movie, because honestly, this is like, I didn't even think this is gonna be a thing, and now I'm fucking terrified of going to a goddamn old folks home, because you don't know if John Lithgow is gonna be there fucking with you, like making you like do crazy shit to this doll and stuff like that, and then like just unfortunate stuff he does. You gotta watch a movie to see it. I don't want to really spoil anything, but that he does some crazy shit with that doll, and a freaking doll, man. Yeah. So so if you're looking for two good horror movies, the first one, A25 Forest Road, is good, and then this one that we're talking about now is The Rule of Penny, directed by James Ashcroft. Very good. Both on Shudder, both relatively new. I think one came out last month, one came out this month. So check them out. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you've seen any of the, if especially the Penny one, you want to talk about John Lithgow, comment in the comments below. Have a good rest of your day or night, guys, and please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment your top movie picks for Throwback Thursday in the comments section, and see you next time in the cave.